Hey everybody, welcome to our studio. We're so glad you could join us today. We got a very special guest today. We want to show you one of his pictures that he done. Ryan, can you hold that up? Look at this, isn't this beautiful? He won first place with this. He's an aspiring artist, and I tell you what, we're looking for him to do great things in art. How are you doing in school, Ryan? You doing good?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, it's great to have you today. What about your picture? Can you say anything about it, or?
I drew it for my papa because he goes deer hunting.
Oh, he drew it for his papa. Isn't that cool? Well, thank you for being with us, Ryan. Ryan's going to be a guest today. He's going to watch us, at least part of the shows, okay? But we'll be right back and we'll start a painting. Come back and be with us. Hey, welcome back. We're glad you came back and joined us. Hope you're painting along with us today, but if you are, I want to warn you, what we're doing today is totally different than what we normally ever do on the show. But I thought maybe you might be interested in some of the other work that we do. I don't know if you can, I'm going to hold these up. You don't have to come in close if you don't want to, Jim. These are two paintings that we done years ago. And the library called us and wanted to display some of our work. So they chose about 4 paintings. This was 2 of them. A few weeks later, the little lady called me from the library and said, Earl said, I got some bad news. Said somebody stole 2 of your paintings. I said, well, which 2 did they steal? This is the 2 that they stole. Anyhow, they were so kind, they paid me for them and everything. But anyhow, I thought today we might, you know, do some of this, because normally we're realists, really. We paint things that as they are, in other words. Today we're going to paint them as some people see them occasionally. But anyhow, come over to the board and we'll do a little sketching here. We won't make them exactly like this, but Ruthie loved these pictures and she never got to keep them. And she sometimes collects some of our paintings. And we're going to draw these today for Ruthie and paint them, okay? So come over to the board and we'll just start. We'll draw a little bit here. Okay, I won't try to copy it exactly, but I'll make a little sketch here. And we won't make it exactly like that, but we'll make it close. This is a little dancing person, I think. Funny little hands, isn't it? Now this is what they call modern art, I think. Okay, that's probably enough to get us started here. I'm going to put that down over there and we'll grab up our palette. And if you notice, we got all of our colors on here, all 8 colors. We'll grab a brush and just start some painting. I need probably 2 or 3 brushes down here. Let me get that one and one a little bit smaller. Now, the first thing we probably will need will be a little flesh color. In order to make flesh color, you take a little white, a little yellow, and touch red. And you've got something that looks sort of like flesh. You can make it redder, browner, or different colors. Let's just use that, okay? Now this is totally a modern painting. So we'll just go ahead and... Now if you notice today, I did not coat the canvas. with the linseed oil. I'm just doing it sort of dry. It's good to have Ryan with us in the studio today. And his mama, Liz. It's good to have Liz with us. Now, if you notice, most of the time they don't have the right amount of fingers on these things. This particular one, the way I drew it, was just 4. So let's just leave it that way. Now, if you notice also that I started out painting the figure. I don't know what color background we'll put. We may go ahead and put some in there a little bit later, but right now I'm just going to get started on the little dancing girl here. Okay, now that's just about all of that color that we need right now, so I'm going to rinse my brush out. Okay, I'm going to grab another little knife up here. Let's grab a little more of that white. Let's go right over here. Let's make a little pink. I believe that's the color of her little dancing outfit. So let's put a little color on that. Now, I'm actually, my sketch is, I won't follow it 100%. I probably will change some things. I'm making her arm a little more curvature to it here. Same with this. I want her to look a little more animated. Looks to me like somebody's holding a gun on her. She's got her hands up in there. But I don't know. Maybe not. Let's just say she's dancing, okay. Now I'm just getting the base colors on here. We'll come back later. And put shadows wherever we think they should be. I'm going to put a little of that pink in her face. I like that. Okay, let's get the back side here. I think I'll bring it right to her chin. Actually, I think what I done on the other one, I made a outline all the way around it. Now let's go down here. I don't do a lot of the modern paintings, but occasionally I just love to have fun with it. And like I say, this is 2 paintings that actually is lost, I guess, or hanging somewhere. I hope they're enjoying them. Now what I need to do here, I need a little shadow color, so I'm going to mix up something probably just a little bit darker. Now if you notice, I went over and picked up a little bit of that blue. I've got it a little too dark, but let's add a little more color to it. Again, I'll tell you about my white. I usually keep about 3 or 4 piles so I can keep it one pile perfectly clean. Now I've used a little blue, a little pink, a little red, a little alizarin crimson in that. I think I need a little bit smaller brush. Beautiful. Now you can really go wild with your colors on this. You don't have to follow any set rules because and you can highlight it like that. I need to make my shadow a little bit darker, although I like that. That's sort of blended in really good. So I'm going to make it a little darker. Let me lay that one down. That blue, I tell you, is really strong, so you sort of got to watch it. Now that may be way too dark, but let's try a little bit of it. I'm going to grab another brush. I want one a little bit smaller. I've got some right here. This is the one I want. I'm going to rinse it out because I've got oil in all my brushes. Yeah, that's it. Now I'm sort of keeping my highlight to this side, so I'll follow through with all of that. And then what I've done, I pulled a solid line down through there. Watch this, I'm going to go back, and right on the edge of that line, I'm just blending it in. That sort of makes it look round. Let me do the legs the same way. Then I'll go back and blend it just a little bit. I want that a little darker right there. A little darker right here. Yep, and a little darker right here. Yeah, that looks better. This is, to be honest with you, this is great fun, you know. Now, Picasso painted a lot of stuff similar to this, but now Picasso was a great artist too. He could draw before he started doing the modern art. Nothing wrong with modern art. I think it's beautiful, but it's just something that I don't do a lot of. Okay, we've sort of got them about the way we want them. Now those little shoes, you know what? I like those little shoes. Let's see what we can do. She's got a little, we're going to make this a little bit lighter. Okay, I'm going to get a bigger brush because, you know, I can do it faster. I'm going to try a little bit of, especially right in this area, white. Uh-oh. Let's just go on out there. Yeah, I like that. That white, we'll add a little pink to that. We want it similar to that color, but not exactly. All right. Now, if you've been watching the show pretty regular, you realize that this is the first time that we've done a modern painting. Now I'm going to take a little of that white, go right into my pink here. I'm going to add just a touch. Then I'm going to blend it. Same way down here, I'm going to take a touch of that right down here. Over here just a little bit. I blend it just a little bit there. Okay, I'm going to rinse that brush out. A little bit. Okay, I'm going into my flesh color now. What I done, picked up a little of the red. just a touch along the edge. All right, I like that. Now, I'm putting just a little bit of color in this. Now the little shoes, I'm not sure what color to make those. We don't want them real big because this is a little dancing lady. So we'll make them about like that. Now I don't know if you notice what I'm doing. You see how smooth that line is? Let me see if I can show you. I'm laying the brush down and pulling all the bristles. In other words, I'm not letting any of them go out side of the line, or trying not to anyhow. And you can make almost a perfect line with it. See, like that? Almost. Okay, those little shoes, I want to put a little shadow on those. I'm not sure what color to use. I believe I'll use this right here with a little bit more of that. Alizarin crimson. I think I need a little bit smaller brush. Let me rinse that out, because sometimes when I lay them down, I pick it back up using another color. And I've got too much of that other color in it. It's just like that. Now I've got all kinds of brushes over here. We can go back and use any of those. Now the secret in a lot of the paintings that we do is mixing the color. You got to have the right colors. Now I'm going to show you some. I'm going to put a shadow here. I'm going to put a shadow here. Now, the other one didn't have any of this. This is going back, and I probably shouldn't do this, to realism. Now, actually taking some of that same color and making little round holes in that thing just to make it look a little prettier. I just run a shadow in there. I want to cut that off just a little bit more right here, like that. Then just blend that just a little bit. There I go again, getting back to realism. Now we sketched this with chalk, by the way, and after we're through with all of it, we can wash that right off. Now, I'm not going to blend all of it really, really good. I'm going to leave some of it with a little bit of contrast to it. Now, I want to do the little face. I'm going to take a little white, a little of my flesh, now I've left a little space in there and I'll show you why just in a minute. I want that a little bit more colorful though. Like that. Now what I want to do right under her chin, I want to put a little shadow. So I'm going to clean that out just a little bit. And put a little shadow under here. Whap. Just sort of like that. Now we'll probably have to take a smaller brush to do the little face. Now we need some kind of hair, you know. So let's take a little white. And you can make that any color you want to. We'll make her yellow headed. That could be a hat, I guess, but maybe it's her hair. I'll put a little extra up there. Now I need to mix up a little color. Let me wipe that out just a little bit. And you can shadow yellow with a lot of different colors. But I'm going to take a little of this Van Dyke brown, touch of red, touch of yellow, a little more yellow, a little more red. That's sort of a burnt red. It's not an orange. Let's just try a little bit of that. That's not too bad. I'm going to make it a little darker on the back side, but then I'm going to, oops. You know, I don't worry about getting stuff on this old carpet. It's been here ever since. I'm just adding a little highlight right in front here. And I'm going to add a little dark to the back. I've got about a minute left, I think. Oh, we're enjoying this today. You know what? We run out of time. I tell you what, we're so glad you was with us today. Hope you can come back and be with us next week. Goodbye and God bless.